Tonight, I am going to show you just how aggressive the censorship is on our mainstream media. It has to do with Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who continues her quest for the White House. She believes in lots of cool things, like forgiving student debt and creating millions of green jobs in an emergency movement to get off fossil fuels, thereby possibly saving us from the worst of climate change. But who has the time, right? You could just do like Huffington Post said this week and buy a $500 portable air conditioner, which makes going outside a breeze. Finally, there's a way to go outside. As the planet falls into a fiery death spiral, you'll have this piece of shit to make it bearable. Is it just me, or is this slow incineration of the planet a bit muggy? Why start acting in a way that's in accordance with the carrying capacity of the Earth when we could just take the easier step of air conditioning the outdoors? Back to the point. Running for president is not easy when not only do you hardly get allowed on the mainstream media, but when you do, you have your answers censored mid-sentence. Jill Stein was on PBS NewsHour last week, which is considered by many to be one of the more, fair and professional news sources, because apparently NewsHour is better than Fox News and doesn't see the educational value in upskirt shots of their female anchors. That's pretty much all you have to do nowadays to be considered the more reliable name in news. Don't have camera angles up your anchor's crotch. Just don't require pixelation, lest children be in the room. PBS aired the interview on television, but they also live streamed it on Facebook. And a YouTuber named Matt Orfala noticed a difference between the two videos of the same interview. Here's the uncensored version. I'm going to show you first. And you'll notice the live stream version was hilariously jumpy. So Jill Stein looks like she belongs in like an 80s rap video or something. But still, try and actually listen to her words and ignore that she looks like Max Headroom.
Are you saying you think literally that Hillary Clinton is every bit as bad for the country as Donald Trump?
I wouldn't say there are no differences, but the differences are not enough to save your job, because Hillary Clinton, and now her transition director, Ken Salazar, they're big proponents of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is basically NAFTA on steroids. And most observers believe that it will send our jobs overseas, as well as undermine American sovereignty by bringing in these international tribunals that get to pass judgment on our laws, on our public health protections, on our worker protections. So we can't count on saving our jobs, saving our lives. 1 in 3 Americans now cannot afford health care under Obamacare, or saving the planet, because Hillary has been a big proponent of fracking, as is Ken Salazar, her transition director. So we feel that in this election, we're not just deciding what kind of a world we're going to have, but whether we're going to have a world or not going forward.
Okay, so that's the original. Very important stuff said. But this is the same answer, which aired on PBS and on YouTube.
I wouldn't say there are no differences, but the differences are not enough to save your job. We feel that in this election, we're not just deciding what kind of a world we're going to have, but whether we're going to have a world or not going forward.
Notice any differences? One of those versions makes Jill Stein sound like a fucking moron. Hey, are you saying Trump and Clinton are the same? There's a difference, but there's not enough to save your job. And who knows if there'll be a world going forward. Thank you, good night. I talk in non sequiturs like I'm a robot with an aneurysm. But in fact, Jill gave a very eloquent response that talked about things PBS NewsHour doesn't want you to know. Jill Stein was also apparently censored on CNN in a similar fashion. And we actually have an exclusive response from presidential candidate Jill Stein. Cue the animation! Yeah, I really like like exclusive stuff. Jill Stein told me, thanks to the free and open internet, people's eyes are being opened to how corporate-funded media outlets, including PBS, have controlled the narrative by choosing what to report and what to leave on the editing room floor. This is not just an accident. It's one thing to cut a full answer from someone due to time, but even that is kind of rare. But apparently NewsHour has no problem cutting words out of guests' mouths and never letting the viewer know it. But Judy Woodruff agreed to have Jill Stein back on to sort this out. Here's that interview.
Dr. Jill Stein, welcome to the NewsHour.
Hillary is not corrupted. Hillary is super. The American people are clamoring for chips. Thank you, Judy.
I'm glad they cleared that up. The American people are clamoring for chips. But it doesn't end with being censored. Jill Stein and third-party candidates are also not allowed in the presidential debates. The debate commission has said a candidate must be polling at 15% to get in, but in fact, most polls don't even include Jill Stein and Gary Johnson. Yet Stein did attend the presidential debate at Hofstra when she ran in 2012, and she was escorted by these nice gentlemen with the badges to her seat. Unfortunately, her seat on the presidential debate stage was inside a warehouse nearby, surrounded by police, and she was handcuffed to her chair for 8 hours. So she did get a seat at the debates. Not only did she get one, but she was chained to it. Picture that. You're a candidate running for president on the ballot in almost every single state, and you are still arrested by scores of police and locked to a chair. But if you read the NPR article of that same incident, Stein and her running mate were peacefully escorted out by police. Wow, what a great euphemism for illegal detention. And in another article, NPR described Guantanamo Bay as one of the less desired Cuban resorts. It's time we demand the presidential debates be open to all candidates. It's time we demand more from our mainstream media, more than edited sound bites and glancing mentions of reality. But who needs those stupid debates in corporate media outlets anyway?
We got what we need right here on Redacted tonight.
Get